Let's
Cool.
get started here. So we have episode 8, No Sleep Crew podcast. We got Ant, we got Troy, we got Jay, and we have a special guest, international empowerment speaker, founder of the J Has Heart Foundation, which is a social emotional learning for K through 12 scholars, Mr. Jabari Hall. How's it
All
going, sir? How's it
right.
going?
Good, good, good. I heard all the applause.
You're like,
Yeah, thanks. All right, cool.
we put that in the edit.
Word, right? Yeah. It's going great, fellas. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Good. So,
Thank you.
I guess first question is, obviously with like quarantine and everything, how you been coping with that? I know. Obviously, you're pretty much used to like speaking at like schools or community
Yeah.
centers. Obviously, since everything been closed down, how you been kind of coping with that?
Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit multi-folded. Let's cover it in three ways. One is just personally wise and mentally wise kind of thing. Um, it's certainly been a challenge because I am a person that is um, always out and speaking to people and encouraging people and very social, I'm a social guy. So to now seclude myself uh, um, and kind of silence out the noise of like, hey, don't talk to people, don't get too close to people. That kind of psyche part that messes with you, I have to really balance that and be like, no, I can talk to this person without fearing this person is going to give me COVID, like,
Yeah,
but still respect what the scientists are saying and things like that. So it's been that balance, right? It's been trying to really stay motivated with friends and family and communicating with them, but still being respectful of just the crisis that is COVID. Um, on the business side and financial side of things, it has affected how I hire people or even the uh, the gigs that the speaking engagements that I do have
hmm
that is significantly reduced, and the students that I'm able to empower, I'm not able to do that in person, um, and I haven't been able to in the last 5 months, and certainly don't see it happening in person for the next couple months as well. So that has certainly had an impact on um, my ability to interact with students in person and some finances, right?
yep,
But it's also created an opportunity for me to be more innovative, more thoughtful in how I can communicate with students in a virtual way, of course, and certainly create a space there to both be profitable and also encourage people. And the last one I wanted to definitely bring up is the spiritual part of things. I think COVID has caused um, me to dig deep even more in my spirituality. I'm certainly a spiritual person. I'm a God fearing man. I'm a follower of Christ, and um, that's how I lead my family. And with the pressure of the world, you take on these flesh like uh, uh, stresses and worries. And I had to go deeper into my spirituality and really put more faith that, hey, man, I believe in it. I believe in you. I believe in what you say. And what will be, will be. And in the moments where I'm losing friends that I know of, to COVID, I'm going to trust in you and not allow the outside world to really say, where's your Christ now, so to speak. And so sum all of that up, I find balance in it all.
that's awesome. I know you mentioned that you kind of like dug deeper into like spirituality. Like of course, like what I've been kind of do like recent as well is kind of like look more to like invest within more of myself and at the same time like trusting God more and kind of like try to be my better self because obviously with quarantine you're pretty much at home majority of the day unless you like have a job. So it's kind of like you got like a lot of time to reflect and then like a lot of time to kind of figure out where you want to go, kind of figure out where you want to be once eventually, hopefully, if things like the new normal, like once everything kind of opens up to a kind of where it was like pre-COVID. So that was what I would kind of be like doing as well.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's interesting too because you can create this path to take and be fixated or set on it. But then tomorrow brings a different challenge, and you're just like, what I thought about yesterday is probably not applicable today, and you go into another couple hours of thinking and manifesting and things like that. Um, um, but though it's overthinking, it's still thinking, and it's still a good thing. So I'm hoping that you guys also go through that. I mean, one day you're just like, all right, cool. I got a plan. I know I'm gonna do. I feel this way, and then something else happens tomorrow. You're just like, oh man, what I'm gonna do? I don't even know. I'm done over here. Like, it's a battle every day.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you're in the house the whole day. Like sometimes you're like, all right, I have this just to do. I'm gonna get it done. The next day it's like, this is fucking doing the same thing every single day. Like,
yeah.
Where's my motivation to keep doing this? Want to do it today? Nothing different. I got to do it. It's gonna be enjoyable. Go anywhere. Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Man, staying at home during quarantine is the best thing that can ever happen financially, spiritually. Like, think about it. Like, church is so much more, it's convenient, but I still miss going to church because I'm also Christian. But, like, financially, oh my gosh, it is like a blessing in disguise. But, like, I look around, like, my white walls and everything, and I actually had to put up some pictures because, like, I got depressed, like, looking at the same walls every day. So
I would say for me, my life didn't change in terms of time because I was still going into work. I was still doing my regular 9 to 5 routine, but I couldn't do stuff like go to the gym. That definitely hit me. I couldn't, I guess, go to my friend's house as casually as I would want to, maybe go to a bar and get a drink. So that was definitely a change I had to get adapted to. Other than that, I think the biggest thing for me was my motivation went down. It's like when you're going out and see so many people with masks on, it's just like, man, is there hope? Like, what can we do, man? I don't know. I just feel stuck sometimes.
Yeah, especially like I said before, like just being in the house all day, like it kind of like makes you like a little like depressed. Like I can't go anywhere. I can't really do much. I can't do this. I got to stay in the house and try to like, figure out ways to still like keep that motivation, try to keep up with my goals and dreams. But at the same time, I can't really go out and maybe like expand them in that way. So you got like and then like Mr. Jabari Hall said, like you gotta be innovative. You gotta try to like find out which ways you can still progress without obviously not be able to go out and things like that.
So, yeah, man.
So I guess go like next question is that like I definitely seen you on IG about about obviously what's been going on with recent killings of black men and black women and also like, protests and things like that. So I guess like I want to get like your thoughts about what's going on right now and maybe like where you might see America going forward. Obviously, later on in November's election year as well. So arguably like the most probably important election of the year. So yeah, just kind of like just, I guess just like kind of some of like thoughts of like where you see country at right now, where you see it going, and pretty much like that.
Yeah, sure. It's
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
It's massive. Yes, it's massive, right? It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to articulate. It's a lot to process. It's massive. So um, uh, currently, what we are seeing is something that has been available to our view for years, for certainly the 20th and the 21st century, and has been hidden in the 19th and 18th century. So it's what we're seeing is nothing new. It's the attention to the BS, attention to the institutionalized challenges and racism that has exacerbated or created a lot of attention to it. So I'm happy that there's a lot more attention to what's going on. And the unfortunate thing is I'm not surprised by what's going on, whether it is the attacks on Black people or the myriad of responses to what's going on. Now, personally, I get emotional about it. I get angry. I get sad. I get fearful. I get happy, oddly enough. And it's again, it's a myriad of emotions for me. I'm angry at just how like a George Floyd would die, how a Breonna Taylor, her killers aren't arrested at the moment, how Ahmaud's murderers are showing us how the justice system can just be shaky and not work in favor of African Americans. So I get angry, I get sad with just seeing that person or those people could be anybody that I know, and more so they're a person that cruelly are murdered. I get fearful because right now, honestly, knocking on wood, officers could just walk in the door right now. They could just walk in y'all door like, nah, today's your day. Like, we're breaking the law and you're not gonna do nothing about it. That's what's up. And it's that crazy. So now you get to a point where you're just like, okay, my Second Amendment is about to be really taken up. I'm about to, okay, I'm going to take full advantage of the Second Amendment. And so there's a fear factor that comes in there, protecting your family. And then I'm happy also because with any progress, I got to really be attuned to it and be happy about progress. Because if we weren't moving in some direction, or if we weren't moving in the right direction, then happiness wouldn't exist. So that being said, I try to do things based on those emotions. So if I'm angry, what do I do? Well, I'm not going to react in a way where I'm going out there and doing what other people may be doing, which at some little point I'm okay with it, the rioting and the looting and things like that. Instead of doing those things, I write, I meditate, I read, to try to control that. With the other emotions, I try to spread the awareness and speaking to people, right? I try to see what can I do that's constructive, both to me and to other people around me. So that's what I've been doing with the current situation. Now, as it pertains to the kind of second part of the question, which was 3 parts, but where are we going? I'm continuing to share with folks. We want to be able to create a, how do I coin this? I call it a magnified focus. We need to have a singular focus, a focus where the distractions don't take away from that magnified focus. So picture yourself having a magnifying glass and looking on something, and you could now see it in a magnified view. We need to be able to say, you know what is the cause of the atrocities that Black people have felt through law enforcement, right? It's qualified immunity. It's being able to have these officers not be accountable for their actions, and then also feel like they're protected both by the unions and the people that they put in power to protect them in the law. So we have to have a magnified view and say, look, this is where litigation, legislation, laws need to be enacted to stop the bleeding of what's happening since the Reconstruction era. Uh, and that's what I communicate with people. That's why I see that we as a people, certainly us on this call, need to be able to focus on that and not be distracted by the other things that are real, the Black on Black crime. Today I was speaking with a friend of mine, where's the money going for Black Lives Matter? All these other things that are going on. Those are important. I get it. I get it. But this is what you've always done. You've always said, oh, Black people this, and I put my finger at each person. Nah, I'm keeping my eyes on you, bro. Because you are stopping me in my car and asking me where am I going. And I'm like, why are you stopping me? You are brutalizing and killing people. You are not upholding the law that you're sworn to protect. You are corrupted. You are aggressive. You doing it. So you're not going to trick me to where I'm now blaming my people for other things. I get it that stuff is going on, and we're going to attend to that. But you got to be the focus today. You got to be the focus this year. And that's where I think it should go, rather than us trying to get played over and over again. As it comes to the election, it's up there with Obama's election. I remember voting for Obama in 2008, and what it felt like to be like, yo, like if this dude wins, this is gonna be crazy. Like, and people would say in 2008, you just voting because he's Black, and try to make me feel bad, or people that I know, or even the media saying, don't vote for him because he's Black. Nah, I'm voting for him because he's Black. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, this is one of those times where I'm gonna have a Black president. You're not gonna get me to say, oh, he's not qualified, because look who's in office now. And what do you try to make an excuse for, right? So I say that because now looking here in this year, 2020, it's as critical as that, not because Biden is associated with Obama, with President Obama, but or rather, it's because the evil that permeates from the White House, if we have another 4 years of this, Jesus gonna be like, all right, I was gonna come back like year 3000 maybe. Now I'm gonna come back today. like I'm gonna end it all because y'all are wilding down there, right? I feel like 4 more years of that is going to create such a level of chaos and evil in this world where we aren't going to be able to survive and care for ourselves and show compassion and show love and the joy that Jesus brings. It wouldn't be able to permeate in our lives. It's just going to be satanic and evil things. So I think that this coming November, it's that important for us to really say, look, Joe Biden isn't the Almighty. He isn't the Savior. He isn't the perfect guy. He's got a few blemishes. He's got a few marks where he was like wilding out with, his comments in the 70s and 80s and his crime bill in 94. Like he's had some things where it hasn't shown that he is truly a believer in equality for African Americans. However, if I'm looking at the ballot and I'm looking at Trump and I'm looking at Biden, best believe I'm choosing Biden, because I see what I see today from Trump. Like you're Satan, bro, and we're being recorded, and this is going to go out to places. But I can't hide that belief. Like you're at a level where I can forgive you because I have to do that. However, you don't seem like you're going to stop. And our power, our vote has to stop him, so that we can create some level of normalcy and decency within the White House. That even if like Biden is still going to do his shady stuff, at least you're going to be like a presidential dude where, I can respect your BS. Not just taking pictures of Goya at the Resolute desk. Like, not just saying white lives matter too. Like, you're not your posture is wrong, and I think we all need to recognize that and choose right this November. Not because you need to be democratic. So yeah, I'm hoping that we really keep our blinders on, keep a magnified focus, and truly just choose a lesser of two evils this November.
I actually wanted to ask you something myself. Something came to my attention. I wanted to know your opinion on, I guess, when sports and entertainment and everything comes back, how do you feel like the racism acts and these movements are going to change? Because Kyrie Irving was like, when the NBA comes back, don't be fooled. Like, they're trying to hide the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So it's like a whole bunch of people are going to fall victim to that. So I want to know your opinion on it.
So I'm going to say, any questions that you ask me that I answer that may seem a little bit personal, of course, it's personal, is my opinion. There are facts behind it. I have read on some things, but I don't have those facts in front of me. But the opinions that I have won't be so far-fetched that there won't be facts behind it. So I say that both for the question that you just asked me, but also the initial question that Nate had for COVID and Black Lives Matter and where is this going, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, now I get that there are people both that are NBA players, people that are sports casters, sports personalities, and also fans of sports that need to have that avenue or that place that they need to have some fun again, feel a level of camaraderie between different types of people that just love a sport. They need to be paid because the NBA, the NFL, and et cetera, employs all of these people. There are a myriad, again, of reasons that someone could say why they should play, and I respect that and I understand that. However, I believe that we're at a moment that reflects a 1964 civil rights bill, a 1965 voting rights bill. Like we're at a moment where our country is in so much turmoil that if we don't capitalize upon it, we won't get it back for a half a century. If we last that long on this earth, based on climate change and things like that. So with that being said, I feel like we each need to use our power that we have in different ways, but certainly with the finger pointed at the powers that continue to take opportunities away from us. So with Kyrie and other folks, I believe that one of their powers is their influence in the media, but also their ability to reduce the amount of money that NBA owners are making. And if they can use their powers to really impact and bring about change, I think they should use that power. I've had friends who said, no, they should play because if they are on national TV, they can wear a t-shirt that says Black Lives Matter. That's great, bro. I'm of the belief that if now they are playing and the NBA then says, we're going to limit what you say. You could put BLM, but not Black Lives Matter. You could put Black Lives Matter, but not wear the George Floyd shirt. You could wear the George Floyd shirt, but you can't wear defund the police. You could. There's going to be limitations that they place upon you because you're in a place where you're like, hey, I agree, I'm going to play it. Yeah. I feel like your power is taken away to a degree when you're playing. But if you now say, look, nothing against you, owners, nothing against you. I know you want to make your money, and I love playing basketball, man. But right now, your partners, the people that you lobby with, the people that you go to dinner with, they're not playing fair. And they're allowing cops on the ground level to kill people that I probably know. And this is a year where we need to say, you know what? Nothing against you, bro, but I need what I need what I deserve. I need what you've been denying me for so long. I need, if you want to stick with sports, I need more ownership, black ownership, black managers, just black representation within the sports. If you want to go now into other pieces of legislation, it's yeah, I actually want to talk about how the police need to be held accountable for their actions. Um, uh, I actually want to work with organizations that are in that specific arena, and they can litigate, they can legislate, they can help to legislate for new laws. Like I that's the route I want to take, because right now, as a people, we are suffering. And at the end of the day, I think had they not played, that could have been a focal part of the story, rather than, is LeBron going to win his next title? How's Kyrie going to, not Kyrie, Kawhi going to do? That's what the stories are. If I just scroll past ESPN, talking about a beef between somebody, I'm like, I don't care about that. Black people are dying. Like, I don't care about, I could be next. I could be driving, and oh boy, want to be like, nah, I don't like you today, and kill me in front of my son. You feel me? We're at that level. So for me, I'm not I'm not I'm keeping a magnified focus, and the NBA players not playing aligns with that magnified focus. So I think that's my position on it. Um, it's one of the things that you see if you when you I read an article, I forgot what newspaper was covering this, but it mentioned that the NBA players they went down to Florida, and please excuse me if I miss anything, and whatever you guys know, please share with me, because I tuned it out after they said, yeah, they're going back and play. I'm not even watching any of it. I'm not watching football. I'm not watching. That's personally me. I'm not saying anybody should. That is not my brand that is saying, yo, boycott this. Like, that's personally me. I'm not watching it because I'm like, nah, my magnified focus is here. And what was I saying? Yeah. So, word, right? Word. I just want to share. I was reading this article, and they were taking NBA players down to Florida, part of Florida, Orlando or so, and keeping them there. They're putting a ring on them to check their vitals, um, however often, to make sure that they are COVID negative, and have them play with no fans in a particular arena. But all the NBA players would be in this one area where they're playing these games. So when I hear that, I say to myself, are they lab rats now? Are they running their own tests? Well, they're keeping all of their vitals. They're checking all of their stuff. They're taking numerous blood tests to make sure that they are COVID negative, if that's a correct term. They're not positive. What are they going to do with that blood supply? What are they going to do with whatever tests and results that they get back? And I just felt like it's something that, because of some collective bargaining agreement, which is, hey, it's law, you signed it, I respect it. Because of that, you now put these players in a place where it's like they play in a game that they love, but there's some shadiness to it. Like, you're running all these tests on them, which you have to, I get, but I don't know, bro. It causes some level of questioning for me. So I don't know if you guys read the same thing, but yeah.
No, I read the same thing.
Yeah, I read it too. That's an interesting take on it. Because I like how you said if it's all the only thing, or they're just trying to make sure they don't have COVID, just trying to keep them safe, which is especially compared to what it seems like the NFL, they're not doing anything. They're just trying to see that they don't care if they got it or not, just go out there and play. So if you don't think about it, you like, okay, the ABA is just really just trying to pay attention and make sure that the players are COVID free and they don't get it. But that outlook really opens my eyes. Like, could it be something way bigger than that? So it's definitely an interesting take on it.
Now, I will quickly add that I am not in any one of their shoes. I can't tell them what to do. I can't pass judgment onto them. They've made the decision. I'm pretty sure they're aware of what's going on. I'm pretty sure people in their family have been affected by things, and they're about this as much as anybody else. And they made a decision based on circumstances that surround them at the moment. So I don't cast judgment on them. Do what you got to do. Because they can also say, why aren't you out on the streets every day, and things like that. We all have roles to play, but I was out there marching nonetheless. We all have roles to play, and I more power to you. Do what you got to do. But now I'm forced to make a decision, which is not really support anything that you are then supporting. That's giving these owners all this money. Nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
When you brought up the fact about the lab rats, that really had me thinking, like, what else has COVID given the opportunity to shed light on? Like, if, I guess, fans aren't there at the games, what are in those people's heads thinking, like, how can we make money off of people not being in the stands? And it's like, how are they going to apply this to other things? Like, the future is really scary. Like, I don't know how it's going to impact a whole bunch of other things. You know what I'm saying? So all we're doing is sitting back and enjoying the ride, but this ride's going to be really bumpy, man.
I've heard so many level of different types of conspiracies, but I believe conspiracies are born out of some level of truth. So I've heard all these different conspiracies about folks drinking youthful blood to make them feel younger, using youthful skin to repair their wrinkly skin, and all these different things. So for me, if I'm a conspiracist, if I'm thinking what's possible out of this, what are they using the blood for? To make somebody a stronger athlete, like how they are, or something like that. Far-fetched. However, there are just possibilities that are endless if you say making money out of this. I don't believe that they would do that, but anything is possible, right? Hopefully that wasn't an ignorant comment. Hopefully it was just like, yo, I can see that, right? Like,
I was mainly asking because I heard rumors of like Bill Gates talking about putting some type of tracking device in the vaccines and stuff like that. And I'm just like,
ID 2020. Yeah.
Crazy. Oh man.
ID 2020. There are a few videos circulating online around that. I've listened and read into it. So, but I'll chill on that for a second.
So, I mean, with that being said, would you feel inclined to get in the vaccine as soon as it drops, or would you wait? How do you feel?
In the past, I've taken vaccines because I went to school here. I'm of a Caribbean descent. I'm Trinidadian, so coming here, you got to take vaccines in order to go to school. And it's kind of like this: what you got to do. And your mom just said, "What you got to do? Take the shot. You're done." Growing up, you also take the flu shot because it said take the flu shot, you know. But when I realized what is in a flu shot, when I realized the other drugs, not just vaccines, but just the amount of chemicals and different drugs, I really started to take a different level of protection in my well-being and in the things that I put into my body. I am not on the extreme part of things, which I understand what people are. I still take risks and I still eat non-organic meat and things like that. And I haven't gone vegan and things like that, but I dabble in it. I'll come back to the question. So I'm just conscious of like what I put in my body. I then would talk with other folks about vaccines and their opinions on it. There's a small linkage, which people call not true, but a small linkage to vaccines, particular vaccines, and the effects in children, autism, et cetera, et cetera. So with hearing all of that and how the flu shot, they put the potential germs for the season into you. So you get the cold or you get a level of a flu, but it's not as strong. So that you have antibodies that build up. So then when a flu comes on that season, it's less likely to be severe, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't learn about that prior to just taking a shot because they just said take the flu shot. So learning about that and the hidden things that are put into my body, I'm very much more skeptical of any vaccines that I put into my body. I truly have to do a level of research that is a PhD, an MD level of research to say, yeah, okay, put that into my body. And I'm fearful that we aren't going to have the time to put that level of research into knowing what is truly in this vaccine. So I'm reserved in that right now. I can't say on camera, off camera that I wouldn't take it, because if it's mandatory and the things that they're saying about you can't go into certain places without the vaccine and yada, 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 more conspiracy, then I'll have to take it. So right now I'm just reserved. I'm like, initially, no, I'm not going to. I need to read more about it. How many trials have been taken? What are the exact results of those trials? I don't want to hear 70% of people were successful. I want to hear 80. I don't want to hear 90. I want to hear about the 10 that didn't, what happened to them. I want to hear what other things are in there. All these different things I want to learn about prior to me saying, sure, put it, vaccinate me, vaccinate, put the vaccine. I'll take the vaccine, however you phrase it. Vaccine shot. I don't know. So I'm reserved right now. I'm reserved. Did that make sense? Sorry.
No, it made perfect sense. I mean, I'm the same way because I heard there's a company called Moderna that had, if I'm not mistaken, they said that there was actually results that actually weren't true. Someone later on said that those aren't the results. So it's like, can I really believe everything they're saying on the news up front like that? I have to wait a little bit because someone could just come on and say, nope, that's not true.
I'll give you another thing here. Pharmaceutical companies are heavy in trying to create this vaccine. The same pharmaceutical companies, they are, and I don't want to name them, but these pharmaceutical companies, they are all about profit. These are pharmaceutical companies that are charging an exorbitant amount of money for insulin, an exorbitant amount of money for life-saving medication. Like that people are dying, but they refuse to lower prices, right? Sort of the same thing what Bernie's talking about, the 1% and the big pharma and things. They are the ones that more than likely would stake claim to a vaccine. The same people who are profiting billions of dollars while people are dying.
Right.
How can I imagine, outside of the Lord and Savior that I serve, the possibility that a vaccine would be good, that the way you promote it would be true, that the results would be true, that the cost of the vaccine would be affordable to people who truly need it? How can I believe that the humanity that exists in the world will be a part of your big pharma way of disseminating and giving it out to people? It's hard for me to do that. So I'm looking at it like I am not going to believe in your vaccine. I'm still believing in my God, but I'm not going to put my faith in your vaccine. And then you come out and be like, yo, it's 300. Now it's 1,000. But you need like 2 drops. You need like one week and the second one the next week for it to really work, you know, or some convoluted or some way that they're going to profit off of this. And now I have become such a dependent person on it that I lose track of a lot. You feel me? Like I may not have articulated this the best way because I didn't get any questions prior to this interview to kind of prepare, but I hopefully kind of pick up what I'm putting down.
No, I pick up everything. And point, it's like the news is so powerful, especially at this time. I've never seen how powerful the news is till this moment. Like they say anything and everyone just swings to another attention. And you can see it vividly in the stock market. Like Moderna, I'm sorry for saying the names, but pharmaceutical companies went up when they had some results. And it's like after time, it'll just go down. More results, spike back up. So it's like people are just, shareholders are waiting for opportunities just like that when the news brings up something about protests or this or that, just for the opportunity to get some money. So,
Yes, sir.
it's crazy.
I got opinions on that too, but I'll be reserved.
Oh man. Go ahead, Nate. I feel like I'm hogging this, man.
Oh no, you good. So I'm actually gonna go back to what you said more about like the like distraction and things like that. Obviously, like you kind of see that a lot on social media. You kind of see like kind of like one day it's kind of go for like this issue, then this issue comes up, then somebody brings up this issue. So like, I think like that distraction mostly because like social media kind of like it's kind of like always changing. Like it's always something new. Like news is always breaking like constantly on social media. So I think that's why it's kind of hard to kind of keep like your blinders on, kind of focus on one thing because you see that black on black crime, or you see I remember like one time it was clear like sexual assault was like being brought up, like sexual assault in like colleges and things like that, and then a lot of times you see now is that like how black women are not treated as they should. So you see a lot of that on social media. So it's kind of got a bunch of issues going on. So it's kind of I guess I want to say difficult to kind of focus on one thing. We see a whole bunch of different issues, and you kind of want to attack all of them at once, essentially. Yeah, so it's kind
Yeah.
of fair.
So are you asking like how would someone balance all of that breaking news? Or was it more of a comment? My bad.
Yeah, like it was kind of comment, but I guess since you did bring it up, I guess is there a way to balance it, or
Yeah.
like try to figure out like which issue to attack first, and then kind of go like kind of down the line kind of way, or
Yeah. I mean, this goes back to a huge topic in our society about mental health, and it's in the initial 6 weeks of us learning about the crisis, in terms of being around March or so into mid-April.
yep.
I found myself absorbing way too much COVID news, and just being on the edge of everything that they brought up. Like, okay, no mask. Oh, mask. All right. No 6 feet. What's 6 feet? What's distance learning? What's it? And I was just like, I felt myself just draining. I was draining my ability to keep myself happy because of the news I was absorbing, and my mental health was affected. And I remember mentioning to friends of mine that I look at folks who aren't practicing healthy habits, and I worry about them if they're not meditating, if they're not praying, if they're not telling themselves some good affirmations in the morning, if they're not doing something to really uplift their spirit, then the negative news that they're hearing is going to be on replay in their minds and on their hearts, and their mental health is going to be affected. So I just remember just sharing with friends, I'm worrisome of people who aren't practicing that. And I started to recommend to friends, or ask them, what are they doing in the morning? What are you doing in the morning? What are you doing at night? What are you doing in the middle of the day? To really recharge your focus for that day, recharge your chi, your place that you want to be in. What do you do? And I gave recommendations, right? For me, I pray every morning. I pray at night. For me, I say positive affirmations every single day. For me, I meditate. I take 5 minutes every day at least to meditate, to visualize what the day looks like for me, what I want out of life, what my goals will be like when I do attain them. I do that to be able to interpret and allow social media news to enter my spirit, but not take over my spirit. So going to the specific kind of topic you mentioned with daily information from social media, I had to turn off, which I am in the middle of. And this is why when you contacted me, I don't see it for particular days, because I have to be intermittent with this. I can't be on Instagram or Facebook every day.
Yep.
I would lose myself. I especially now with Black Lives Matter, I am aware of what's going on. I'm reading a lot more rather than watching a lot of the videos and things like that, because I need to be able to decompress. And I also need to be able to have a conversation with my wife that's different than what happened on IG 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Because she might not want to hear that. So I need to take breaks. So now sometimes when I see, there are a lot of videos where I'm like, yo, I teach 10-year-olds that are on IG, and they shouldn't watch this. They're too young to see how a dude is being shot by a rubber bullet. If you saw that video, I saw it today. While his kids are around. Like, when I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm turning this off. I'm putting my phone down, and I'm going to look at that another day. Not today. Like, so I force myself not to bring that energy in, and not to keep that energy in. I just stop it. So I would recommend that people do that, whether it is morning affirmations, prayer, meditation, visualization, having time limits on the type of media that you digest, and and increasing the positive conversations that you have with folks. That's what I do, and it works.
So I have a question then. I know a lot of people like myself, I can isolate myself away from everything. So how much of a time frame would you say like is to do like intermediate, like kind of isolation? Like I can go weeks without going on social media or anything, but I know that's not helpful. So what's your kind of perspective on that?
To each his own. Yeah, that's the easiest route there. But I would say, look, Jesus went for 40 days and 40 nights without. He went into the wilderness 40 days and 40 nights, and that's a form of isolation. God removes you from particular situations and people for an extended period of time to speak to you, to mold you and shape you, or to direct you to the place that He wants you to be in. So sometimes I can take a week, or sometimes I can take a month or a year, and sometimes people will be like, "Where you been at?" Yeah, changing my life, dog. So it. Then also when things would come about, and even the Romans were going to kill Jesus, He went away from His disciples for a moment or two just to pray, and came back to them. So why I say this is isolation is a good thing, but again, to each his own. And however long you need to reach the goal that you're trying to reach, because of that isolation, that's as much time as you take. Me, for example, based on what I need to isolate from, that determines the amount of time. If it's social media, a lot of times 3 or 4 days from social media, I'm good. I can come back for a couple of days and be okay until I see something crazy. Like I'll give you a quick example. When George Floyd was murdered, I watched the video 4 times that same day. The next day I watched it about 2 other times. In total, 5 or 6 times I watched it. And a week persisting after that, I saw the influx of protests and media attention and things that were happening around the murder. And I became depressed. I cried because I was just filled with so much emotion. And I had to take a week off from it. And the only reason why I came back is because I feel like if I'm away too long, then I am not keeping abreast of what is going on in the world, and I need to be aware of these things. So it could be a week or two for social media. When I was called to Christ, when I was called to changing my life, it's still an ongoing thing, but certainly my isolation was around 6 months, where I purposefully didn't contact friends who wanted to do the same things that I was trying to get away from to find myself. So the social media aspect was a week. The finding Christ part, 6 months. The other things could be however long, but I think at the end of the day, it's when you tell yourself, I need some time. I may not know how much time, but you get to a point where you're like, okay, I feel better. I feel like I've gotten to a place where I'm okay going back and receiving social media information. I feel like I'm okay having a conversation with a friend that did me wrong. I feel like I'm okay coming out of this isolated place, and I'm okay to handle the stress that may come again from what caused me to isolate myself. So it just depends. It truly just depends. I would say at the end of the day, though, what I do is I rely on Christ. I say, look, I need the Holy Spirit to guide me in my decisions right now. And when you see fit, Lord, when you see fit for me to come back into this place, whatever arena it is, I'll follow at that time. I did that with social media, of course, again, with me following in Christ and things like that. So I would say that is a golden ticket personally for me. And it should be. I would love if it's applicable to you, that you would say, guide me in this, Lord. We ask it for so much, guide me in this, and rest assured and believe that however much isolation that you need, he will let you know when, where, how, what, how to handle it. So,
okay.
Does that answer? I mean, I don't know. You're like, nah, I didn't. Nah.
No, I mean, I can definitely. I was kind of looking for like a kind of a short date, like, end of 2020.
I told you to each his own. Yeah. I hit it right there, and I had a period, and then you were like, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you more.
Sometimes the truth is hard to swallow. Like, I know it's right, then I'm just like, oh, there's no definite answer.
Here's what happens: we don't know when. We don't know the when, and when we don't know the when, it conflicts with the duration. It conflicts with what can happen in between that, right? So you're like, right? You're just like, I mean, I'll poly with you for a second, right? By the way, I'm Brooklyn all day. I don't know which one, if anybody's from Brooklyn, but I'm all day Brooklyn. So you might hear some terms that you're like, a word, oh poly, oh I be. Like I still have my local way of speaking. What was I saying?
Well, fill me in real quick. Poly is.
Say it again.
Fill me in real quick. I don't know what poly is.
No, I'm a poly with you for a minute. Like I'm a break bread. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna just shoot the breeze. I'm gonna just rap with you for a second, off the cuff, so to speak.
I'm from Jersey. That's why. Okay.
I don't know what they say in Jersey, but
I'm gonna rap to you.
Yeah. So you was Shorty, and Shorty got her 90-day rule. Yeah. Shorty got her 90-day rule, and you like, yo, I'm not trying to wait 90 days though. Like, I'm not trying to wait 3 dates even. Like, what's good, right? You are worried, like, okay, if I stay good, and I show you that I'm with you, which I like you, I'm feeling you and all that, that I'm gonna get that, you know, I'm gonna wait. But in between, you like, she want me to do this, she want me to pay this, she want me to do that. I don't even know. She's still gonna give us the box. Like, I'm like, oh man. In between, you're just so worried about it. And rather, if you put your mind that, hey, I'm not gonna worry about the in between. What is my end goal? What am I trying to reach here? And let me go past the polying for a minute. What is my end goal? It shouldn't be just sex, honestly. Me being this guy kind of guy. Uh, uh, if my end goal is to truly be with you, my end goal is to truly get rid of the things that's causing me to isolate, and I need to focus on my ability to reach there rather than all the stuff that's gonna happen in between, all the things I'm gonna miss out, all the things I gotta do in between. Because at the end of the day, that's my goal. So for you, if it's like as simple, not as simple, but if it's social media, like you gotta tell yourself, look, social media is there's so much crap on there that it's like I can't deal with this. All right, I'm gonna take 2 days. And if you have to turn off your phone, if you have to miss a phone call, if you have to do things and stuff happens in between, that's okay. Because your end goal is to create a sense of like, just like release from social media. You feel me? Like if it's if going back to poly and going to poly, and I'm gonna go back there. If it's the box, you gotta be like, look, you want me to pay? It's good. I'm gonna play my part. Play your part though. Play your part though. Don't slip up on me if I'm playing my part. Play your part. So hopefully that makes sense too.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Can I ask you, what are you trying to isolate from?
Actually, my problem is I isolate too much. A lot of my friends actually refer to me as living underneath a rock. And like not like I didn't know that excuse me, but I didn't know that George Floyd, when he initially got shot and this whole thing happened, I didn't figure it out until like 3-4 days later, when people was like, oh, this is all going on all crazy. And I'm like, for me, like mind space and like mental health, it's a lot easier just to stay focused on my dreams. But then I noticed when like things like a lot of these issues are happening, that you can't stay isolated so much. You got to come out into the light sometimes. So I guess my question, kind of like understanding, is when is the best time? Like, how much should you venture out into the light, and how much should you stay by yourself? But there's no way, teach his own. Never mind, you already answered it.
I did, and I'll just say one other thing. You can't have someone else dictate that for you. What are you comfortable with? Right? I get that friends are going to, and I have challenges with friends too. I have friends who or isolate themselves like you, or that they with their wife or their missus too long. I'm like, yo, like, you're not gonna try to have fellas talk. Like, what's going on? Let's have man talk. And I had to be like, hey, that's him, and I'm gonna respect what his choices are. And you got to put in your mind, like, I get that I could be the word just escaped me. Peer pressured into doing the things that my friends think that I should do, or whoever. But I gotta find what's comfortable for me. And if you being isolated a little bit and not knowing that George Floyd was murdered by 4 police officers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And you, but now it's like, oh wow, he got murdered. All right, what is Anthony going to do about this? All right, well, I'm going to talk about it more. I'm going to invest time into this, and then I'm going to come back to relax, because that's how Anthony keeps his chi. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I stay under my rock. Like, I'm good over here, Poppy. Like, I'm good. Like, let me, you just got to find your own groove and not let others dictate how you should really secure your peace.
Copy.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm good on question.
All I guess it's time to wrap it up here. I guess I'm tapping into your empowerment speaking skills here.
Finally.
I guess just try to leave just one, I guess, one important message that I guess everybody could try to like tap into, going forward. Obviously, 2020 has been such a long year. It's only July, so so much going on. People different like emotions going on. What message or what type of motivation can you like try to get people to finish the year strong and look forward to 2021 and beyond?
Yeah. I write a lot, so I'm writing some notes. I apologize. While I'm writing, I will say that I truly wish we would have got into, the type of work that I do and things like that a little bit more. We did go into some political things, which the world has made everything political, and which I'm okay with. But certainly,
Okay, well, since you
speak a
brought
little
that
bit about
up,
that.
I guess kind of what I said before. What do you do actually? I guess yes, can answer actually.
Oh,
My bad.
all right.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get my bad.
Talk it talk.
Hey.
Yeah. What do I do, man? Thanks for asking, man. Like, so I threefold. Independently, I serve as an empowerment speaker, and that could be empowering people in church. So I provide sermons, but also empowering people in any atmosphere that they're in. So if they are in a field of education, then I am educating educators on how to properly interact with students and the benefits that come from being socially aware of their mental state or their family situation or the life that they're living. Or whether it is I'm empowering a group of young Black men. I'm speaking on particular topics that's going to get them to reach a level that they either didn't believe that they can reach, or that they aspire to reach but needed a little in good hands, like Allstate help. That's one fold. The second thing is running J Has Heart. J Has Heart is a for-profit organization. It's where we focus on K through 12 social emotional learning, and that is teaching young people how to become aware of who they are, how they feel. The second part is how to manage those feelings and to do things to regulate stress, and to also manage the goals that they set for their lives. Third part is being aware of how other people feel and the differences in other people and respecting those differences. The fourth thing is how to create positive relationships with other people, and not stay in toxic relationships where people will constantly put you down. I'm pretty sure there are people that you're aware of, and I'm sorry if there's any one of you that when someone gives you an idea, you're like, you're not gonna do that, man. You ain't built for that. You're not about that life, or whatever excuse to kind of reduce your capacity to make this happen. So I try to educate students on how to find those relationships that cultivate um, cultivate progress and your level of reaching success. The fifth part is making decisions and how important every decision is in your progression to success. So I share with students, you waking up and saying, I don't want to bring my book back to school. Now you're in school without a book bag. How are you going to learn? You're not maximizing your learning. Or you teasing this person, how's that going to look? And the people around you, how are they going to treat you? Are you going to be the bully now? And this simple things like that, your decisions that you make. So I teach young people that from K on to 12 through J Has Heart. Travel around to different schools at different parts of the country and facilitate workshops with my staff members. Third part is running a nonprofit. I run a nonprofit called Think Positive and Dream Big Incorporated. And what we do is a lot of work in Brooklyn and Queens, and working with some congressmen and assemblymen to work in underappreciated schools and underappreciated communities and provide some free workshops to parents and young people, whether it is doing away with guns, whether it is educating young moms and dads on financial literacy, credit literacy, or how to create a website or how to start a business for themselves and the benefits that come from creating LLCs or any kind of business that they want to create. So I work in that capacity, and I have a board that I work with that find opportunities for us to help people out locally in Brooklyn and Queens. So that's what I do on a daily basis. I'm focused on all three or one of the three, and managing all of that. So yeah, other than that, I am a family man. I got a newborn that has taken up a lot of my time, and I say that I do apologize for the multiple rescheduling here, but I have a reduced ownership of my time now. So it's just really, it's even why I mentioned to bring this back 1 hour, because I now travels back home. Like he wasn't sleepy as we thought, and then we had to put him to sleep, which is going to take extra time, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so I'm a family man. I'm a follower of Christ, and the people around me, I try to share with them the power that comes from the strong tower that is the Lord, and the faith in Christ. So that's me. Thanks for asking the question. But about the motivation, right?
Well, I guess before that, how do you pick out which topic to speak at like different locations? Because I know we came to Penn State back in 2018. You did the 10 Secrets to Success, I believe it was, and I saw like, a couple of videos on YouTube. You had like 5 ways to do this, or how do you I guess decide which topic to choose? Is that like you do like research on like okay, I'll go to college, like they about to be in the real world pretty soon, or like I'm going to like a middle school, like about like going to high school, like how can they do that? So, like do you kind of like do your research like that, or you like your staff members kind of like talk together, or how you create that?
Yeah. And the topics that I speak on, they have to be, 1, something that I'm passionate about, 2, something that I'm knowledgeable about, and 3, something that personally affected me. So that allows me to speak on those particular topics. There are times when there are single or one-off topics that I'll speak on, but it isn't a recurring seminar that I provide. The recurring seminars that I provide are situated for in school and then kind of family oriented. So the in school ones, things that I'm passionate about, that I'm knowledgeable about, and that I have been affected by is the level of equity in schools. So I speak to staff members about what is available for students. And because I'm able to work at a more affluent school, or a school that has a bigger budget and provides particular opportunities for their students, I'm able to see what they're accessible to versus students or communities that are impoverished and the school system doesn't have the budget available to provide access to after school programs or books and things like that. I see the disparity. So I speak on those things like equity, and even like social and emotional learning, because that's what affects your psyche, or your current situation. And like I said, family oriented, I speak on, seems like my battery's going low. I apologize. 1 second. 1 second, hey fellas, please.
That's wow. I got to any more, I guess, questions you want to ask me after this, or?
Yeah, I got some. No, I'm just, y'all know I love to talk. I was going to say, it doesn't sound like he's a new person to the game. Just wanted to shed light so that people will know how many years of experience he has doing this.
And I was gonna ask just like how you got started in this, like motivational speaking and all the stuff. You said he has a foundation as well. Like, what sparked his interest and how he got started into that field?
I guess my only question would be like, where does he see himself in the future? I mean, he seems pretty accomplished now, but I guess what's his goal and what are the steps he's going to take towards his goal?
Where do you see yourself in the future? I'm just messing with you. Oh, this got kind of awkward.
All right. We
Wait,
can intermission, no sleep crew. We're back.
Hey, we're back.
And we back. We back.
Okay, I apologize for that.
No problem.
Yeah, what's affecting me is what I speak on now. That's why when I came to Penn State, it was speaking on success, because I had friends who we constantly would talk about the things we would do when we become successful, talk about the things we would do when we had a level of money that allowed us to do these things, but never really what are the intricate tools and principles that are necessary to reach that level. So in studying that and certainly reaching a level of success, personal success that allows me to do particular things, I then spoke on it. So hopefully that answers the question as to why I picked the topics and things like that. I don't talk on every topic, but certainly topics that affect in school and then family-oriented things.
Yeah, I actually had a question myself also. I was thinking, you seem like a pretty successful man of a lot of talents. So what are your goals and how do you plan on achieving them? Because obviously, like, as humans, we always want more. We're greedy. We have a whole bunch of money, maybe have a whole bunch of friends and connections and opportunities, but we always want more. So I kind of want to know where your head's at. What do you want, and what are the steps you're going to take to get it?
There are some people that would challenge that assertion that not everyone wants more. There are some people that I know, I read about, learned about, that it enjoys the simple things that life provides and is content with that and doesn't strive for the white picket fence and the American dream that permeates every day in our ears. So some people, may be comfortable with their situations and their family around them and they're fine. Others would fit into that category of wanting more and more and more. And I not constantly, but I from time to time go back and forth in where I reside. Am I in a place where whatever is provided I am comfortable with, or am I forever aggressive in attaining the things that I believe would provide me more happiness? I tend to reside on a place where what is provided to me and what the Lord provides to me, is what I am comfortable with. So if today is the level that I max out at, then I am comfortable because I'm at a place where I am in love with all of the simple things that He has provided to me. But there are some days where I'm just like, nah, I kind of want the Lambo. no, but there's some. I'm not on cars and stuff. But there are some days where I actually want to be able to vacation in the ways I want to vacation. So that's more what I strive to attain. And so so I would, some people are in either bucket, or some people go back and forth. What are the steps to getting more of what you want, right? More money, more things, and things like that. I think overall, it's really putting it out there. What do you want? Um, there's a want versus need dichotomy that will forever persist. But if we just think on wants for a moment, you have to share, what do you want? What is important to you? What do you love? What do you enjoy? If it's that, then certainly a place to start, uh, as there is any other place, any other thing that you want is, I'm a firm believer on this, is through prayer. The second thing is visualizations. I firmly believe that is something that's so powerful because of the law of attraction and what um, you put out there, the universe brings back to you. So being able to visualize the things that you want is going to help attract the people and the resources to get you to actually see that thing that you're visualizing. I think a third thing would be the doing part. It's doing the little things to get there, right? It's, if now I say I want a 3,000, 5,000 square foot house, I want a 10,000 foot square house. I want what this other person has, not in an envious sense, but in an appreciation sense. We're like, I like what that is. I want that. If I want that, then I need to find out what are the steps I need to take to get there. I need to be um, persistent in my actions and take daily steps. So let's just take, for example, um, actually, I want to be more direct. Name it something that you want. Or anybody.
That's a. I would say I'm thinking more about, I'm on the real estate side of things right now.
Okay.
So within the next year or two, I'm in my parents' house right now. So right now I feel like I'm saving my money, investing so I can buy my own house and hopefully rent it out to my friends also. So that's a goal of mine.
The last part was investing it and renting it out to friends.
Yeah, so I'm going to live there myself, but I know a good tactic is one that people call house hacking, where you would rent out the rest of the rooms to other people, and hopefully they would be my friends. But that's my first goal, and hopefully if that works well, I would use the money I get from that to get another property and maybe rent that one out. Just keep it going. A nice chain.
Right. So um, so just reviewing those steps. One is praying about it, making sure that's the direction you want to take, and that's what's for you. I'm not pushing that on you, but I can't help but speak on it because that's that kind of life I live. The second thing is visualizations. I'm constantly I'm now in your shoes. I'm Troy. I would be visualizing the type of unit, the 2-family, the 3-family, the 1-family, that type of unit, where it's located, what street is it on, who's going to be living there, how much is it going to cost, how much am I going to invest in it? Like, I'm visualizing that. I'm visualizing the doors, the garage. I'm visualizing that, the street, the trees, all of that, because as I continue to do that, in my search, I'm probably going to find something that looks like what I've been dreaming about. The third part is the doing part, the action. So me, Troy, I am going to be researching how this house hacking work. I'm going to be researching how is it to rent out to friends? How does that work? I'm also going to be researching how do I get the level of equity, the level of money available, to purchase this and to enter into this environment where I am going to be house hacking. So constantly it's R&D, research, and some level of development. Those are some daily action steps, right? Reading that you're doing, going out to meet people that are involved in the industry of house hacking, of real estate, and talking to them and getting their perspective and experiences and things like that. Also, Troy would uh, find friends who are in it, and maybe I would probably put money towards it and be like, okay, let me see how this is. Let me become invested into it where I can risk this. What is my level of risk in this? But I could see myself putting some money into this and being accessible to the information that's there, while knowing that this is a level of risk where if I lose it, I'm okay. But if I gain something, all right, great. And I learn in the moment, I have firsthand knowledge of what's going on. So now when I go off on my own and do it, I have more information and more readily available. Troy, right, would take those actions. You, Troy, can do what you want to do. I'm not saying do it. Certainly not the last part, but certainly overall, the day-by-day actions, what you need to do, or what you need to do to get there. And the last thing is not, we call it, the thing just escaped me, I apologize. Trusting the process, excuse me. You got to trust the process. So if it is that your goal is investing in real estate, renting it out to friends, and house hacking, right? You have to trust that, look, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but every day that I do things, it's going to help me get there, right? And be more prepared when I get there. So that's the last part, is really trusting the process and telling yourself that the little things that you do are going to be helpful. Hopefully that answered the question.
No, it did. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
And I also had a question. So when it comes to, like you say, you have I think Nate has said you have a foundation. How do you get started with having a foundation, and also how did you get started into like motivational speaking? That, like, what was your, like, how did that drive you, like, growing up to get to where you at and doing what you're doing right now?
Yeah. When he mentioned foundation, he attached it to J Has Heart. J Has Heart isn't a foundation. It's not something where someone is donating to for a particular cause. J Has Heart is a for-profit organization that is in the education space. How to get started with the foundation is going out and creating a foundation. I mean, you can create a 501(c) or another type of nonprofit organization and call it a foundation, if it and certainly directed towards a particular cause. So if it's a Nate Foundation, then what is Nate's cause? If it's for helping someone in his family because they're going through some challenge, if it's for some violent activity that occurred to someone and they want to create a foundation, to create a nonprofit organization, 501(c)(3), and call the foundation and garner money towards it. That's how to start it. Just create it. How would you then go about creating it? If you want me to go into that detail, I can, but certainly just starting it, creating it, and then asking folks to get money, to donate money to your cause. It's how you would build on it. So the last part you mentioned, how did I get to, and correct me if I'm wrong, the drive to do what I'm doing now?
Like what made you want to, like, be a motivational speaker, stuff like that? Like, what made you want to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, and it's part of what I speak on. It's my life journey, right? A lot of public speakers speak on their life journey and really use that to inspire people. So, is that me? You hear like a wind or something? No?
No.
I don't hear anything.
Wait, let me know if it goes away. Hold on.
No one hears the static? Sorry?
You still hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Maybe it's just me. My bad.
Fire on, but I don't think it was loud.
No, maybe it's my headphones then that's messing up. I'll try to ignore it. Can you hear me okay, though? I apologize.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good.
Yeah, so I'll save part of my answer to my inspiration for I'll save a part of that for the kind of lasting words that Nate asked me for a few questions ago. But the quick and skinny of it is, you know what, these headphones are. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took off my headphones because I want to see if it's my headphones or not. But to give you the quick and skinny of it, I am serving in my purpose. I think I'm serving in my gift. I know I'm serving in my gift, and I am trusting in that, and that is to empower young people, and that's what I do every day. So I'm trusting in that, and that's what drives me, knowing that I'm operating within my gift. So, yeah. But please know, I'll provide a longer version as to why in my ending or concluding statement.
Okay, that actually brought me to something. You said
You already had a question. No.
I know.
All right, now it's my turn. I'm sorry, no, because you're gonna get two questions. We gotta go around in circle.
I promise.
You don't sound like a new person to the game. I just want all the people to know, how long have you been doing these public speaking and encouraging others? Quick question.
Yeah, I would say going on a decade.
Okay.
All right, can I ask a question now, man?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, you brought up purpose and
He just Kanye'd you, by the way. I said he just Kanye'd you, like.
Oh yeah, really.
Like, you know.
Out here, man.
Hold on 1 second, man. I got a question. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Beyonce, whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
You brought up a purpose and gift. So I guess at what time, not even what time, but I guess for general people in general, how would you tell someone to evaluate their purpose or gift? Like, at what point in your life should you say, not one point, I'll just say this. I don't know, what sign should you get if you found your gift or purpose? I guess what affirmation would happen if you found your purpose or gift? Does that make sense? I feel like it's went all over.
Yes. Let's see if I'm answering it correctly, and then if I don't, then I didn't understand the question, but I think I did. I believe that there are many ways that people arrive at the place where they accept their gift, realize their gift, act in their purpose, in their gift, and a purpose driven through it. I'll just highlight two. There are times where some people, friends and family, or people that you come in contact with, recognize a personality trait or ability that you have, and they highlight that. So they may say, man, you know, like every time I call you, you make me feel better. Like you got the right words. Like it's crazy. Like, you know, like, wow, like you got a gift, man. You should be a counselor. Or whatever scenario it is, somebody comes into a place where they share with you that you're good at something. Man, you always come up with great ideas. Like, you know, you should be an inventor. You should invent something. You should innovate somehow. You should. They share with you what they believe that you're good at, and when you start questioning it, you may find yourself accepting that actually, wow, more and more people are telling me that I'm good at this particular thing. That might be what I am here to execute on, to do. It's one thing. So people may tell you. The other thing is the direction that I took, which is I started to really ask the Lord above, what is my purpose? Why am I here? I've had cousins who've passed away. I've had family members who passed away, and they passed away in the middle of working or just living life or things like that. And I'm like, how come they're not here? Like what, like what did they do? Like, did they complete their mission? Like, am I, what's going to happen to me? Is it my time coming? Like I want to find out, like, why did that person pass away, but I didn't? Like, what am I still here for? And if it's something that I need to do for you, then reveal that to me. And I'm saving that for the end. But that is the second way. It's really you asking the Lord above, asking Yahweh, asking Jesus, asking the Holy Spirit to provide you with that answer and speak to you, so that you can then go out and do it. So one of the two. Those are two situations I would give as to how you would receive that purposeful gift.
Okay, that's solid.
Cool beans. Thanks.
That's it. Any questions out there, or?
Well, I feel like I asked many questions. I don't got nothing.
Clearly.
Don't let people influence you, man. Do your thing.
Right.
Wow.
No, I'm good.
Same. I'm good.
All
Okay.
right.
So I guess I'll share with you the motivation part of things, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Again, you guys keep seeing me looking this way because I'm writing notes. Yeah. See. All right, great. So I'll start here by saying, I believe Jay asked me the question of, what drives me. A number of years ago, when I first got to this country, I was about 10 years old, and I didn't know anything about computers. Computers were available in New York, in America, but coming from Trinidad, we didn't really know much about computers. As much as I knew was Atari, Sega, and Nintendo, as far as any kind of electronics that I would play. Other than that, I'm playing marbles. I'm doing random stuff in the street, hanging around, playing and doing what little kids do. Coming to America, I started to learn about computers, and I remember my mom got like a Presario or something like that in 1995, and we started to get AOL, and I got online, and I started to wonder like what is online? Like we would dial up an AOL, and it'd be taking like 3 minutes before it would connect, and then it's like you're connected, and I'm like, all right, now I can just talk on AOL, whatever. Okay, cool. Then I got to school, and our school was a underfunded school, and we had 4 computers. In our computer class, we had 4 computers and 26 or so students. And we had about 5 minutes or so to share the computer time. So you sit on the side, wait till somebody's finished using the computer, you hop on, you use it, and we're learning about Microsoft Word, how to type, things like that. And I started to get more interested in computers and anything around it. I then went to a specialized middle school and high school surrounding technology and surrounding sciences, because I was just telling my mom this is what I want to focus on. And I went to a vocational school, and I studied computers and computer programming. And I got a scholarship to Penn State University, a full scholarship to Penn State University for computers. So that really provided an opportunity for me to make a career out of IT, out of being in IT. So I graduated from Penn State and went into IT, being an application developer, and quickly learned how to make money. But I already knew how to lose money somehow or spend money. So I started to make a lot of money, but I was also spending it. It was like, hey, we made it, baby. And I became a freelancer and a personal consultant, where I would have clients and I would create their websites and meet with them and things like that. I did that with my small consulting shop. And with my freelance work, I was a a project manager for a small shop organization, small shop. And why is all that relevant? Because I started to generate. I made $1.25 million a year. I was just making bread, and I would travel every 6 weeks. I would just go wherever I want. I would take my mate at that time to different countries, and we would be sailing and doing it and doing things that I dreamed of doing when I'm living poor in Brooklyn. And I thought that that's what would bring me absolute happiness. That's all I wanted in life. Until it was on April, I came back from Italy. I was in Lake Como, Italy or so, and we were just sailing through I forgot the mountains. We're sailing through this area and got back. You would think after a vacation like that, like, what's the next one, right? I got back and I had a robe, I had a condo, we were just hanging out, on the phone, telling people what to do. And I'm in a robe, telling people what to do in India, in America, making money. And something just dawned on me where I was asking all along that question, what is my purpose? While still being in IT and having my career, I was asking, what is my purpose? And that day, both of those things came together in terms of the questions I was asking and the joy I was getting from the money I was making. And the Lord and the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, your purpose is to empower the youth. The word empower and the youth is what I heard. And I know it's real because I felt goosebumps as I heard it, sitting in my condo in my robe, finishing a meeting. I looked around, I'm like, who is here? Like, go to one room, nobody said. I go to the next room. I was like, who's here? Like, just come out. Like one of those like scary movies. I was like, yo, who's here? Like, I was like, came back to my room. I'm like, is that you, Lord? And that instant, I was like, okay. I contacted the people I work with. I said, it's my 2 weeks. Same day, my 2 weeks. I can't work with you anymore. I apologize. It's been great run. Guys, I'm not doing any freelancing. Hey, I apologize. Here's a severance package for you. Like, I gotta stop. And then I created J Has Heart, or morphed J Has Heart into what it is now. So when I mention, or even with the question, when you ask what drives me and the purpose and things like that, it is because I have personally requested and sought the answer from the source, received that answer, and then have been operating in that answer. So no matter what person is telling me that you shouldn't do that, bro. Yo, you just dropped $300K for like just to do what? To educate kids, to be a teacher? You're bugging. Family members doubting me. No matter who is saying what, I have received the words from the source. And even in that day, I remember thinking, like, I would listen to old grandmas in the church, like, I spoke to the Lord last night, and woo, and I'd be like, yo, grandma, like, who you talking about? Because I hear him. Woo, and it'd be like, woo, you're mad young, you hearing that stuff. You're like, yo, I have no encounter with him. We just in church. I just been to Sunday school. Let's go home. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, what? He spoke to me last night on my knees, child, and he healed my knees. I was like, what? That ain't happening. Get out of here with this propaganda in church. I remember that. And I'm like, yo, this is what she was hearing? So for me to hear it, I then created a belief that is outside of any earthly belief, any fleshly conception of a belief. It is a spiritual and deep belief that can't be broken. So for me, I am driven by the commission that Jesus has given me. and to operate in that gift is to serve him. And if our ultimate goal is serving him, then I am doing what he has commissioned me to do. It all works together. And that's what pushes me. So there are too many times when I've been doubted, too many times where schools have said no. And what do? I smile and I say, thanks, have a great day. And I keep it moving, because if that door isn't for me, when I turn left or right, God has the door open for me already. So I'm fine. I'm good. This ain't something that I woke up was like, I don't want to do on my own. Nah, he told me to do this. So if I'm on my Moses walk and I put my staff on a rock, please believe whatever he told me is going to happen, it's going to happen. Feel me? So if I operate in that realm, I can't be dissuaded. I can be in my fleshly thoughts, but I have to renew my spirit over and over and over so that belief stays strong. Feel me? Really quickly, a couple months before I had really transferred over into public speaking, where I was working, 6 months or so, I was working at this place, and I woke up one morning and I just felt like, all right, I'm gonna leave here. It's paying me bread, like bread. This bread, okay? I'm gonna leave here. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like I'm gonna leave here. I might just do another, be involved in another position, or I don't know. I just feel like leaving here. All right, I get to work. I swear to God, in Jesus' name, I am saying this. That day, the director calls me in. He's like, "Look, man, we gotta do some downsizing, and you got about. I like you, and like, I just can't let you go today, but in less than a month, we gotta let you go." And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Close my door." Close it. It's like, "Did you hear what I just said?" And I was like, "Yeah, I heard what you said." Funny enough, I thought about this morning and I got a feeling. So I'm okay, because I feel myself being different. So kind of thing, right? And this is before I really transitioned into speaking. So if I had that emotion and that premonition and that realization and that feeling months prior and felt a level of comfortability there, how do you think I'm gonna feel after he directly told me that it's my time? Boy, stop. Like, what? I'm a beast. I'm unstoppable. He got me. I'm following in him, and he got my back, and I got the armor on. Boy, stop. So that's what keeps me going. I'm commissioned for this. Now, when it goes to me sharing some words and ending this conversation, so to speak, I speak on three things. One, I share with people to love themselves. I share with people that there is no one like Nate. There's no one like you, Jay. Anthony, ain't nobody like you. You in your grapes and you isolated, baby.
All the time.
Right? Joy, ain't nobody like you. So why are you wasting time trying to be like somebody else? Be like yourself. Ain't nobody like you. Anybody look like you? They might have dreads. Somebody might be bald like me. Somebody might have a goatee. But they not you. So for their spirit to now become your spirit, or for you to envy their spirit, it would be it would be a tragedy to you. A tragedy to you. It would be a tragic thing for you to lose your opportunity at evolving your spirit because you want to be like someone else, or because you allow someone else's negative spirit to become yours. No, sir. Love who you are, because in that love for who you are, you discover more of who you are. And once you discover more of who you are, you recognize that the God that you praise has put inside of you something that is uniquely yours and different than anybody else's. So so you have to be able to tell yourself, hey, I love me. I love the God that created me in my individual way. Think about another way. This right here is a fingertip. On that fingertip, there's a fingerprint. On that fingerprint, it is unlike any other fingerprint out of the 8 billion people in the world. How, Sway? So if my fingerprint is different than 8 billion people in the world and counting, there's something unique about me that I need to appreciate. And I have to be able to tell myself that no matter what anybody says, I got a big head. No matter what anybody says, I ain't got smarts like Bill Gates to know how the stock market operates. No matter what anybody says, nah, I don't got shorty around my arm, the one I really want that looks nice. Yeah. No matter what anybody says, no, I'm not in the mansion, or I'm not driving the car that I want. No matter what anybody says, I love me. Like, I'm okay with me. I'm growing. I'm okay. So I'm gonna get where I need to get to. I'm gonna work on me, but I love this. You're not gonna stop me from loving this. Because if I don't love this, then I can't love you. Then I can't love nothing else. Then why am I existing? Right? Another level, one more thing is that we've been charged by Jesus himself and gave us the Great Commission in Matthew 24, 23, don't quote me. He gave to his disciples the commission, love thyself, and then secondly, love thy neighbor like thyself. So if Christ is the person that I'm following and he's telling me to love thyself, best believe I'm gonna love me. Yeah, so love who you are. The second thing is called the authentic you. Authentic you. Authentic you. The authentic you comes through empowering you. See, the reason why the Lord told me empowerment is because the word empowerment means to give authority to. So you have to give yourself authority to be unique, authority to be yourself, authority to speak your mind, authority to be okay with making mistakes, authority with loving who you are, unfiltered, in an unfiltered, uncensored way. It's okay. I'm not perfect. Neither are you. I'm not judging you though. So boy, bye, girl, bye. I have to empower me. And once I empower me, the authenticity that exists within me now comes out. And I then see the authentic me, the true me, the me that's okay being out there, the me that's okay saying, you know what, I don't like this particular thing, and I'm okay with that. The me that is okay that I remember when I was 25 years old and actually like 17, my hairline started receding. But at 25 years old, my brother was like, hey man, like, time to go bald. And I was like, bald? Nah, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, I still need to save it. He's like, save what? It's gone already. And I was like, you're right, it's gone. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna live with it. No, I'm gonna live with it. And I started to just realize that no matter the outside appearance of what I may look like or what people think I look like, it matters the inside appearance of what I feel like. Do I feel good? I feel good. So the authentic me isn't worried about the superficial, physical traits that people impression upon me or that I impression upon myself based on the social notion and social thoughts of other people. Like I need to be able to preserve and be okay with the authentic me and produce that in any space that I'm in and be okay with that. I would be in spaces and people would be like, man, you got a lot of energy. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I got a lot of energy. It's okay. That's who I am. It's not negative energy. More power to you. I love you. Oh, do your thing. Yeah. If you want different type of energy, go get different type of energy. But this type of energy is going to be positive energy. I'm going to be me. You get it? So whether you think that this me isn't the reserved, which I can reserve and be debonair and be proper and speak in the voice and sip the way you need me to sip. I can do all of that. That's still a part of who I am. I'm not gonna be fake. But at the end of the day, the authentic me is this positive guy that says, have a great day. Hey, you're looking good, man. Hey, What you got on there? Oh, that's a nice scent. I got to get that from the authentic me. And you have to be able to be at a place where you give yourself authority to be okay being you, the authentic you. The third thing is about seeds. Each one of us were I believe, created from a source above, God Almighty. How did He create man? And I didn't prepare this, but when did He create man? I'm gonna give my Bible on maybe the fifth, sixth day or so. He breathed into the earth, into the dirt, and conceived and created and molded man in His image. If I think about how the Lord has conceived and created man in His image, and I think about those days before He created the land, He separated the firmament and things like that, and He created land, and cultivated land to make grass, to make earthly plantation that creates oxygen and things like that, and then He created birds of the sky and things like that. He created all of this. The plants that give us oxygen are made from a seed that grows underground. Where was I born? From the ground. So some seed was planted to create every living thing that is there. How does a seed grow? A seed grows from nurturing and watering, applying the right amount of nourishment at the right amount of time, and sometimes it might be too much. You overcultivate the soil and things like that. But overall, it gets its nourishment, and it needs its nourishment in order to flourish. You each have been endowed with a seed. Could be many seeds, but a seed that requires nourishment. That nourishment comes from the Creator. And if you continue to then receive your nourishment through His blessing, through His word, through His living the way He has commissioned us to live, through believing in Him, and through living through that authentic you then are growing up like a plant would from water and sunlight. You then are producing like a seed would. But also recognize the power in the seed. Underneath the dirt, what happens? It's muddy, it's dirty down there. As the seed is trying to break free, and that little plant that comes out, the little stem, if you're watching how things grow, the little stem that comes out, to go through that process takes a while. It takes all this stuff that's happening while it's in the dirt. And you probably heard all this analogy before. To get to where you actually see the sunlight, you have to go through so much. We all, again, are endowed with the seed. And in that propagation, in that growth, in that growth, we're going to go through what every seed goes through. Dirt, manure, crap, while being nourished by the Creator, by the source, and by the people that He has in our lives, to reach a place where we can finally say, okay, wow, I'm at another level, right? We arrive at these stages. I'm at another stage. And now you are going to follow me here. You are this little plant-like plant. And all the other grass around you so tall. You're like, wow, how do I get that high? Come on, give me more water. Give me this, give me that. You want to grow to the next level, to the next stage, excuse me. So more and more stuff is going to happen where you are comparing yourself to other people. But at the end of the day, if you now realize I came from the seed and I am growing to be what God has imagined me to be, I need to continue to seek the nourishment that I need from the Creator who actually created me. And if you now put that in perspective and truly recognize that this is what you have to do to receive the success that he has created you to receive, then you need to operate in that way. I am a seed that the Lord has created me to do wonderful and magnificent things. I'm going to follow in his word. I'm going to grow the way he needs me to grow. I'm going to excel. I'm going to search for nourishment and food and energy from him. And I'm going to grow into this person that he has imagined me to be so that I can provide the things that he has imagined me to provide. Trees provide oxygen. We provide the gifts that he's endowed us with. But in order to properly provide those gifts that he's endowed us with, he needs to nourish us to a place where we can provide it. I would assume that a tree could emit more oxygen than a little plant could, right? So I need to operate that way to reach that level. And that's a place where I would want us to be in this way, in this place where we are seeds, where we are growing. And we need to consistently look for nourishment, look for growth, and operate under God. Those are three places that I would share. Three things that I would share and leave you with in this conversation. I must say, I truly wish that I had prepared it a little better, because I would have been able to reference my Bible scriptures for that and some personal stories. But I think. I'm always ready, nonetheless, to kind of share and impart with people some words of encouragement. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
Well, easy. All right, with that, we're gonna end this here. Again, Mr. Jabari Hall, thank you so much for taking time out your day to talk with us, answer our questions. I know we kind of put you on the spot there at certain times, but again, you always ready, answer the questions. And again, thank you so much for being part of the episode. As usually end it, Ant, Troy, Jay, how's your week? Anything else for your week? Or
Same old. Going to work. Motivate myself.
yeah.
Did you want to say something, Jabari?
Yeah, I know that's how you ended, and I really wanted to just share something prior to you do your ending.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Two quick things. To those people who are listening to this and will listen to this, please know that kind of a disclaimer. Any things that I mentioned in terms of my personal view, I want you all that are listening to know it doesn't come from a negative space. It doesn't come from a place where I'm casting judgment on anyone. It does come from rather, it comes from a space where it is my personal opinion, and I still promote positivity to what people are doing in their space, especially if it's a good thing and they're operating for their family, whether it is the NBA and NFL stuff we talked about, or whether it is the Black Lives Matter movement and how people are affected by it and things like that. So I wanted for whoever is listening to know that my commentary does come from a place of support and a place of positivity. So that's one thing. The second thing I wanted to share just overall is to people who are having a podcast like this, a podcast that they are getting more and more folks to speak on and to share positive messages with people that may not usually hear it, right? This is what I would assume this podcast is about. Continue to do that. It may be a treacherous, an arduous, a challenge, challenging venture, but when you are truly in it to provide good things to the people that are listening, and the angels, the guardians, are going to provide space and availability for your information to permeate. So continue to continue to create episodes and work at this, and throughout the kinks and all of the, if you don't have the amount of viewership that you want, if you don't have it on the platform that you want, if all these problems that come about, it's okay. What is the mission at hand? Stick to it, and truly, as you believe in it and you work towards it, it will come to fruition. If it came to fruition for anyone else, the read or whoever, whatever you listen to, it will come to fruition for you because you're promoting information that people need to hear. So to you all and anyone else that's listening, that's in another podcast as well, continue on, right? I would share with you that. Believe in yourselves and continue to work at it, right? So, yeah. That's all I'm saying. My bad.
All right, I guess we'll end there. Again, it's episode 8 of the podcast. Again, thanks so much for Mr. Jabari Hall, international empowerment speaker, for taking some time out of the day to grace us, and we'll catch y'all next episode.
All right.
Yeah.